When you care about where you live, you build community. In Bridgeport, we are a diverse people with a long history of caring for our families and neighborhoods. We play together, worship together, go to school, and build businesses together. We love the Park City. Unfortunately, we also have a history of scandal and political corruption. Over the years, our democracy stopped working for the betterment of all people and started working for a few individuals and their personal gain. Our city has been hijacked to ensure those in power keep it. If you think that's okay or that's just politics, then this video is not for you. But if you love Bridgeport, I mean really love it, and you want our kids to have a good education, safer streets, a police department that respects us, and fair elections, then we've got to tell the truth. Our city is broken, and it's our job to fix it. And we can fix it. But first, we need to understand how we got here. The problem in Bridgeport is not unique. It actually mirrors the problem of our country's eroding democracy. Have you ever thought, nothing's going to change? All politicians are corrupt. My vote doesn't matter? Well, in a way, you're right. Represent Us, a national organization working to end corruption in our federal government, explains it like this. Our voices haven't mattered for about 40 years. A study conducted by Princeton University looked at nearly 2,000 public opinion surveys, comparing what the public wanted to what the government actually did, and found that the opinions of 90% of Americans have essentially no impact on the public policies our elected officials support. But what does have an impact? Money and influence. And that's true here in Bridgeport, too. Systemic corruption keeps our city in chaos. And here's how it works. 1. In our local politics, most campaign donations come from business interests and people outside Bridgeport. In our 2019 mayoral primary, 70% of all campaign donations to one candidate came from outside our city. 2. During our elections, political operatives abused the absentee ballot process to rig the results. The history of this fraud and abuse goes back decades. These political operatives target and manipulate some of our most vulnerable residents, our elderly, youth, disabled, low-income, and monolingual Spanish speakers, all for the purpose of controlling their votes. And this cheating works. Just in the past 2 years, candidates for mayor, city council, state representative, town clerk, city clerk, town committee, and board of education have all won at the polls, but lost their elections because of absentee ballot fraud and abuse. 3. Corruption thrives here because elected officials use city jobs as payment for political support. This is political patronage. We saw it during the superintendent search. We saw it during the police chief search, which ended in an FBI investigation, $600,000 paid to criminal defense attorneys, and the arrests of Chief Perez and Personnel Director David Dunn. From 2015 to 2019, Bridgeport saw a 23% decrease in voter participation. Many local politicians don't listen to our voices, whether it's about our most pressing issues or about who should serve in leadership positions, because they didn't need us to get elected in the first place. All this mess, election fraud, FBI subpoenas, criminal investigations, and jobs handed out to unqualified people as rewards for political support leaves the people of Bridgeport feeling in the dark, confused, and divided about what's really going on in city government. Just like what happened in our federal government under Trump. It's all happening right here, right now in Bridgeport. So where does that leave us, the people of Bridgeport? Where is our voice? We're being lied to, and we've convinced ourselves there's nothing we can do about it. And that's the most dangerous lie we can tell ourselves, because that's what the powers that be want us to believe. They've spent millions of dollars, years, decades even, convincing us that our vote doesn't matter, that we don't matter. But we do. At Bridgeport Generation Now Votes, we are building a grassroots anti-corruption movement here in our city. If you believe in democracy and good government, we need you to join our Unrigged Bridgeport campaign. In 2018, as the Connecticut chapter of Represent Us, we fought for transparency in our police chief search and successfully passed an anti-corruption resolution at our city council. In 2019, we supported Bridgeport residents in suing campaign and city officials over election fraud. And this year, we're working hard to get an independent election monitor who will oversee our local elections for 2 years. We need your voice to get it all done. We can work together to pass local and state reforms that will end systemic corruption here once and for all, freeing us to build a just, equitable, and livable Bridgeport.